Hi folks, welcome to Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
Hey friends, Phil Myers here from Myers Metal Detectors, and we've got an exciting guest for tonight lined up, and we're gonna get started right about now. Jeff, you ready for me to do the disclaimer?
Yeah, do the disclaimer.
Okay. Well, folks, today's show is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we not only sell fun, but we sell adventures. And the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Treasure Talk guests, members, belong solely to the guests and members and are not necessarily Myers Metal Detectors, Phil Myers, Jeff Monin, or Jocelyn Myers. And take it away, Jeff.
All righty. Hey guys, glad you're with us tonight, all y'all on YouTube and Facebook. It's a little bit warmer today, not a lot up here by me. Wherever you are, if you're up in the frozen north, we feel sorry for you, but we're still going to talk treasure and have fun. That's what we do. So we got a great show for you tonight. About 8 months ago, I think, Captain FIZZ was on with us, and he graciously agreed to come back on because he's always got some good stories. He's given us some great giveaways for tonight. So we're going to bring him on right now, Captain Carl Fismer, the ultimate treasure hunter.
Has been 6 or 7 or 8 months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it has.
it's just the faster time goes, the further away everything gets, I guess.
Yeah, the older I'm getting.
Yeah. Welcome to the club.
Yeah. What do you got for us, Philip?
Well, I've got a load of questions, but first I wanted to tell Captain Fismer we're happy he's back with us, and he's looking real good, looking younger than ever, and it looks like he got a haircut too. I got one last week, so with this COVID thing, that's a big deal when you go get a haircut. But,
yeah, it is. In fact,
you're looking real good. And
this one turned out. I was going to say this one turned out so good. They told me that Brad Pitt was jealous.
My friend, you always make us laugh, so that's why we love having you come here. We miss having for you folks who don't know, in Tampa, we have the Metal Detecting Club, the West State Archaeological Society, and Captain FIZZ has spoke there many times. It was always our biggest draw for the club meeting. Always brought the most people in. We'd have, the last time I think we had 70 people there. It was just incredible. So we're glad we could get you on the show. We can't do it live, but we can do this. So
yeah, that was people I owed money to.
No, well, I guess instead of being a treasure diver, a salvager, and an author, you should have been a comedian too. So let's get it started on some questions here. And I have my lovely wife going to hand me some, but people have wrote in. So you folks who are out there live want to ask a question to Captain Fismer, just type it on the Facebook page. Somehow get it on the Facebook page because we're not watching YouTube. Jeff, are you watching the YouTube account?
Yeah, I see all the comments. So we had one already. I guess you'll know who this guy is, Captain. He says Moray Tim.
Oh yeah, Tim worked with us down in Panama the first time. Nice young man. The big problem is, for some reason, he decided to move up north. So I never did figure that out.
It's hard to figure, isn't it?
Yeah. Hi, Tim.
Yeah. So he worked with you on. Now, what were you doing in Panama? Panama?
We were salvaging a very rich Spanish galleon called the San Josef. It sank in 1631, and you talk about a manifest. It had a manifest of 609,000 coins just like this one. 609,000. Now, you know, the Atocha was a great wreck, and Mel Fisher was a great man. And if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't be doing any kind of treasure hunting today. But the Atocha, I think, had 275,000 coins. And that ain't a bad haul either. But this San Josef, one of the richest galleons ever to sail, and it sank just off Panama. Well, it actually sank on the bank of San Josef, and the bottom fell out, and then the hull drifted another 40 miles before the Spanish could slow it down, and it ended up its final resting place is just off of Panama City in the Pacific Ocean.
Now, when you salvaged that, did you have to get, I guess, permission from the Panama government? Is that how you did that?
You absolutely have to get permission, but and it's extremely hard to do because now there's all kinds of groups that want to do away with treasure hunting altogether, mostly bureaucrats. But when it comes down to it, those are the ones that can whisper in the politicians' ear, and believe you me, they do. We've had a lot of problems over the years. I'll take a chance and predict that if things keep going the way they're going, we will be totally out of business treasure-wise, and that includes all the land metal detecting as well. I've been fighting this battle for almost 50 years. Well, you know, you guys, you land guys, every day, there's a section of ground somewhere that's posted off limits, no metal detecting, keep out, we hate you, all kinds of stuff. And it just keeps right on spreading.
Yes, absolutely. I see that. You know, parks will get shut down, places we used to get to hunt and now we can't, and all kinds of reasons for that. But I guess I'm gonna change gears and move on a little bit. Looks like I handed a note here from Jocelyn. Allison Walker says hello and asks how Captain Brad and DM Mark Littleton are.
Allison, you don't have to worry about those other guys. You and me have the thing going. She brought rum bottles when she came down to dive with us, and she knew exactly what to do. Beautiful young lady, and we all love her. Brad's doing fine. He's the only guy in the world right now that is going to Harvard and Johns Hopkins at the same time. Anybody ever heard of that before? No, seriously, Brad has got like 170 IQ, and both of them colleges, if you can, we're fighting to get him. So he shares his time between the two of them. By the way, I better say Mark Littleton too. Mark's normally the brains of the outfit. You know, we have this business called Scuba Wise, WIZE, and we take people diving on Spanish galleons, and that's how I met Allison, and we've been really good friends since.
Yeah, Captain Fizz, not to change the subject, we'll get back to Scuba Wise, but real important question here sent in by Glenn Young. Is it Bacardi or Captain Morgan?
Yes. I like it. I love it. It's all got something going. You know, Captain Morgan, the artwork was done by a good friend of mine, Don Mates. He is the best pirate painter in the whole world. He does a lot of shows. Usually Don and I sit right next to each other at all the shows. And when he has to like use the men's room, I'll watch his booth. But when he's gone, I draw a bunch of stick figures and lay them around with his name on it.
Well, Captain, now we'll get back to scuba wise a little bit. Now your company there, where are you based out of?
Right now, it's actually based in Key Largo, but Mark Littleton, the brains of the outfit, is living in Melbourne, Florida, just a wee bit north of Fort Pierce, the Treasure Coast.
Okay, and you take people out, and people want to go on to a I guess you teach treasure diving.
Well, yes. In fact, I call it everything you always wanted to know about treasure diving. But since it's only a one-day seminar, I ask everybody to bring a list of questions, what they're most interested in, because one day really isn't enough time.
Right, and you take them out to a wreck site and let them dive, right?
Yeah, 2 different wrecks sites from the 1733 fleet. And the 1733 fleet is where treasure hunting started in the United States.
And where did that start?
Well, it's Key Largo, actually, a man named Art McKee. And Art McKee is the father of modern day treasure hunting. Just anybody had worked with Art or schooled under Art, or he built the very first treasure museum in the United States. And of course, he lived right there on Tavernier Key, which is in the Upper Keys, just a little bit south of Key Largo. He died in 1980, unfortunately. I had talked to him while he was in the hospital every day on the telephone, and he'd say, "Well, what'd you do today?" And I'd tell him where we were maneuvering. His prize wreck was the Capitana, the lead ship of the 1733 fleet, and Art and I, we always talked about that. So one day he said, "I'm coming home tomorrow, and I'll be going out with you guys, and I'll show you some stuff." I said, "Oh, that's great. Art McKee is going to get on the boat coming home tomorrow." Unfortunate. Oh, I told him about that particular day. In the Keys newspaper was a story, and it said, "Art McKee, the father of modern day treasure hunting." That's where I got it. And I said, "Art, the paper here called you the father of modern day treasure hunting." And he said, "Well, that's okay, as long as they don't call me the grandfather." Unfortunately, on his way home the next morning, they stopped for breakfast at the Denny's restaurant. Art had another heart attack, and it just proved to be the last one. So he never made it home, but we never forgot him. He was actually the main, most important guy this business ever saw. When Mel Fisher came from California to Fort Pierce, Florida, he and Art became good friends, and Art used to go up and dive with him a lot. Tell him more about the Florida rules and laws and the restrictions. But anyway, that's Art McKee. I have stories about him in my books. So we're going to give away a few books tonight. You said 2, I think.
Yes,
Yep.
we are. Absolutely. Thank you.
Oh, good.
They're excellent books. I have both of those, and I have mine
Giving away
signed
3.
because we're giving out 3 books. Nice.
Yeah.
We have it's been about a year. We finished a book about Jack Haskins, and I worked with Jack Haskins for 32 years, and it's the only reason I know what I know. Jack, in my opinion, for all around treasure hunter, he's number 1. Anyhow, can you
Time Ranger.
Time Ranger there it is. That picture was taken at the Archive of the Indies in Seville, Spain. researchers, treasure researchers used to go there. He went there a lot. And there was a big hoop-de-doo about 7 years ago. The Odyssey group in Tampa, biggest treasure. Well, you know who I mean.
Yes.
Yeah, Odyssey. Remember, they came in and took their coins away from them.
Yes.
500,000 of these 8 reals,
Right.
500,000. Just came right in and took. Those guys worked there legally. They had the right paperwork.
Yep.
And one thing that they did, though, they used a code name for the ship because they didn't want competitors knowing what they were going after.
Yeah.
That was called the Mercedes. Very, very rich wreck. And anyway, they had the paperwork. They legitimately worked it. But the politicians didn't like it and didn't like them. I won't name it, but you know who I'm talking about. And here comes these C-130 transport planes flying into Sarasota from Spain. And the newspapers here said Spanish Air Force lands in Sarasota. Well, them was 130s that we were nice enough to give them, but it made it sound like, oh my God, they're tromping on the world. But anyway, they came and picked up 500,000 8 reals, took them back to Spain, and King Juan Carlos, the King of Spain, found out they had been giving away information, billions of dollars worth of it. And Jack Haskins was the main culprit then. He supplied, if he didn't jump in the water and find you the wreck, he gave you the paperwork to tell you where to go look. Anyway, so then the king, of course, closed the archives now. No more treasure hunters can go there to try and get information.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
I can talk about that for hours, but let's get on to a funnier or better thing.
Okay, well, I have to tell you this one. Amanda Page Adriani, that's my daughter. She says hello to you, to my favorite captain in the world. Love you. That was.
Oh God, I love you.
And I have to say this. She signs on every once in a while, but this is the first show I've seen her watching from the beginning. So she really loves you.
Yeah. Well,
but
you tell her I love her too. You know, I'm probably going to show up at one of your treasure hunts or something. Hopefully, if this virus thing gets gone.
Will we come talk at the club?
Yeah, when that ends, we're going to get you back to the Tampa club or the club over in Largo for sure, because everybody loves you there. I have a question here, and we've already talked about it a little bit, but I guess, this is from, this is kind of a question I could answer. It's from Ryan Faircloth. He says, yes, I have a group of guys who want to dive on some shipwrecks. Is there anyone who can take us?
Well, isn't that a coincidence?
Isn't it?
Let me give you the website. It's SCUBA Scuba Wise WIZE.com. We're on the internet. We have the website. Plus, we're on Facebook.
Absolutely. So they could contact you there on Facebook or contact you probably through your website and get that taken care of. Because I know a lot of people, they'll metal detect the beaches, and they would that's probably their bucket list is to go out on a salvage boat and be on a wreck site.
Yeah, well, every diver, I didn't think about this before. That's on every diver's bucket list, even if they're not going to hunt treasure, they want to see what a Spanish galleon, what a once proud Spanish galleon looks like.
Absolutely.
And if I'd have thought of this 40 years ago, I'd have some money by now.
Well, what I'll do, Carl, is I'll get the link to Scuba Wise. I'll post it on the Treasure Talk group page, and also post it on YouTube.
Thank you.
This show that's going to be on we're on YouTube as well, and I'll post it in the link to that show. So
Good,
that way people
appreciate
can get a
that,
hold
Jeff.
of it.
Thanks.
Yeah, because that is on people's bucket list to be able to say, hey, even if they don't have to find anything, just that they dove on a wreck site.
Now,
would
I
make-
got a question.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Carl, the wrecks that you take the people to on Scuba Wise, how deep are they when they dive?
Yeah, well, the first dive is on one of the biggest ships in the fleet, and it's called the El Infante. It was one of the king's ships, and there was a lot of treasure on it initially. And it's in between 15 and 20 feet of water. And generally in the Keys, the water's crystal clear, and
Yeah.
you can actually see more snorkeling than if you're on the bottom on a tank. There's timbers and ballast rock showing, and don't be thinking the thing's intact with the sails billowed and the waves moving the flag around.
Yeah.
No, it's hundreds of years of being in salt water, but still there's timbers and a lot of ballast rocks left. Our second site is a 12-foot cannon that came off the 1733 Spanish galleon San Jose. Now, they had fleets almost every year for more than 300 years. And yes, there was at least one San Jose in every fleet. So anytime you say the wreck of the San Jose, you want to say what year that San Jose. So the 1733 San Jose. And what happened was the thing hit bottom in the storm. If you're riding in on a 20 or 30-foot wave and all of a sudden you slide right down the front of it, I don't care how far that bottom is, you're going to hit it. But this site is in 32 feet of water, and the cannon ran through the gunnel, right through the gunnel, and landed on a coral head. And it's like in the firing position. Good luck for us, because that is the greatest photo op, my opinion, in the Atlantic Ocean. And everybody that dives with us has got to have their picture taken with that 12-foot cannon.
Yeah.
There
Well, the
pictures
reason
of it.
I asked, Carl, was we've had a number of our members, or we've had the people from Brownie Stern Lug on with their Blue Nemo, their hookah outfit. And we had some people that bought those, and I was just wondering, the one they've got out now, when there is, you go down like 10 feet, but like you said, even though the one in 15 feet of water, they can take some really good pictures if they
Oh,
had a
yeah.
Nemo and want to use it, correct?
Absolutely, that's right. And Robert Carmichael there at Brownie's Third Lung, he's, I don't know if he wants this known or not, but he dives in cenotes down in Mexico, and he swims underwater for 3 or 4 miles with no way to get out other than get to the other end of the darn thing. And I said, it's the man in the challenge. Last time I was there, he showed me his dive gear, and it's all top of the line, cost a lot of money, but anybody that will go down in them cenotes and just take off with no way about coming back, to me, they're crazy.
Yeah, I've seen that on TV, the cenotes, and for people who don't know what they are, that would be a sinkhole down in the earth. It's filled with water, of course, and it's running through an aquifer to other cenotes. They're connected, like they are here in Florida. We have a lot of sinkholes like that.
We do. They're on the roads in Ruskin, Florida.
They're always opening up. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Cap. We're gonna talk a little bit about Scuba Wise. I have some questions here. From this first one is from Dale Justice, and he's actually got 3 or 4. But can snorkels, and you've already answered this, can snorkelers participate in Scuba Wise? And then let me just read all of them here. Is there age restrictions? And you don't, I guess you've already answered that. You don't require deep diving because it's not deep water, correct?
No, it's certainly not deep, but we don't have any age restrictions beyond whatever like the big scuba companies recommend. But Lord, I think they're getting certified at like 10 years old these days. So
Yeah.
yeah, you bring the kids, you want to snorkel, and it don't cost as much if you're just going to snorkel. Because otherwise we save money on the rental tanks and things like that.
Absolutely. And then the same gentleman, Dale Justice, also asked, how much of the 1715 treasure do you think is still out there?
I think there's still quite a bit out there. As a matter of fact, it's getting more into the best stuff. If you remember a few years ago, one of the groups working the 1715 fleet, they had their blowers going, but they were only in 7 feet of water, and in a hole about maybe 3 feet around, there was 396 gold coins, and 9 of them were what's called royals. The Spanish royals are worth. One of them recently sold one for $500,000. And I'll tell you another thing, that the $1 million coin, or coins plural, is at the 1715 fleet. They're called Charles II Royals. 2 of them have been found. The states got the last one, so it's not for sale. But my feeling is if a Charles II Royal ever goes into an auction, it'll bring $1 million. And so the assayer didn't build those dies just to punch out 2 coins. So where's the rest of them? Well, they're on a shipwreck.
Absolutely. So I guess go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, I get asked that question all the time. Where's the best place to go metal detecting? And I'm in Fort Pierce. I said, lady, it's right here. You live in the best place. Yeah, your best, and it's still legal. A few years ago, I actually helped the mayor of Fort Pierce put the word out. The metal detector, and a lot of metal detector guys came there. I don't know how good they did or if they did good, but the best time is during and right after a storm. When Irma came through, a couple of guys from the local metal detector club came by to see me, and they threw 7 coins on the table. 3 of them were juicy 8 reals, good condition, probably $400 or $500 a piece, easy. And then some smaller ones. And I said, wow, how deep were they? And he said, well, I got to the site in Vero Beach, I'll tell you. And he said, I started to turn my machine on and I looked down and there they were laying. So he picked up 7 coins before he ever turned his machine on.
Yeah, you get lucky like that sometimes when they're laying on top of the ground.
Yeah, especially when you're in an area between Fort Pierce and Sebastian. That I've found coins everywhere up and down, gold ones, silver ones.
Absolutely. So what is on that area that you found coins? What do you think is the most valuable coin that you found?
Well, unfortunately, I'd say about $12,000. But the good news is I found like quite a few. It's just everybody's looking for the one big one.
Royals.
And I'll keep on looking. You never know. That machine goes off. You never know what your little surprise is there.
Now you were talking about the Royals selling, the one sold for 500,000.
Yeah.
Would they have had a manifest on how many they made of those?
Well, if they did, Jack Haskins would have it, but that was not where he was looking. He studied mostly the salvage papers. Every time the galleon sank, the Spanish would immediately try salvage procedures. And his big thing was, you see where they were working when they're doing salvage. And of course, that tells you where the wreck is.
Right.
The way they found the Atocha, the paper said Matacumbe Key, and there's 2 keys down there with the name Matacumbe. But back in the Spanish days, the whole keys were called Matacumbe, and Jack Haskins and other researchers realized it's not just there. So when Jack found the papers about the Atocha, where he sent them to Gene Lyon, it was one sentence in thousands of papers, and it was a Cayo de Marques, the Marquesa Keys. The Spanish made their salvage camps on the closest land to the wreck, and of course the Marquesa Keys. And Jack told Gene Lyon had asked Jack to help, and Jack found that sentence and he gave it to Gene Lyon, and Gene immediately called up Mel and said, Mel was in Isla Mirada looking. That's where I was too. But he said, Mel, get down to Key West. And that's the story of Mel going down to eventually find the Atocha. I know a lot of people will say, well, gee whiz, it took him 16 years. Let me tell you why it took him 16 years. Mel told me, one of the last conversations I had with him, he spent more than $7 million defending himself legally. He was in court 113 times. He won 112. That last one is when they all got together and decided, no matter what, we're going to bust him on this. But if he'd have had that $7 million to pay to keep looking for the treasure, my opinion, I worked there with him, I think he would have found it a lot sooner. But you get investment money from people, and then the state or the federal government steals what you got, and you have to take them into court to get it back.
Here, grab a chair.
You get the feeling I'm a little bitter about some things?
I wanted to say hi to everybody.
Well, it's tough when you have to do that. I can't imagine. I don't even want to go to court one time, not alone 112 or 113 times.
I had to go once. The Marine Patrol arrested me in 1982, illegally diving on a shipwreck. And I didn't know that was possible. Anyway, the federal judge stepped in. The state judge, you're guilty. In the state, you are guilty. I don't care if God testifies on your behalf. We'll throw him in the slammer for lying. But then the next step costs you more money. You got to go to the federal court. That's where Mel won all of his suits except the one at the Supreme Court. I mean, I could go on and on all night about the court things, but the idea was $7 million to defend what's rightfully and legally yours. And he would have found it a heck of a lot sooner had he an extra $7 million to go looking. Okay, that's it for that.
Did you ever meet Sid Jones? He worked with Mel.
I'm not sure.
He used to be captain on the Swordfish.
Oh, yes, that's correct. That's right. I remember it. Yeah. Oh, what's the matter with me? KT. And Sid, I'm very sorry. In fact, I'm kind of in touch with them off and on. I think they're in the Orlando area these days.
Yeah, they've been on the show, and also they're coming back on in May.
Yeah,
so,
well, KT wrote that coin book, which is pretty good. I've sold a lot of those, and of course, Mr. Jones has wrote the Sweat of the Sun, Tears of the Moon. Yeah,
they were on the show, and we gave away those books. Great books.
Yeah, it is. I have it.
We get that to find out exactly what it's like to do this treasure hunt. It ain't just going out there, jumping in the water and start pulling up gold and stuff.
You mean
You
you
know?
don't do that?
No, don't think so. Well, let's see. Phil fell out for one reason or another. Let me get another link here. And let's see what I can come up with to get him back. Okay, let's see. Okay, to Phil Myers. Do. Okay, link has been sent, so we're good. We're back. And everybody can see us, and so hopefully Phil will. He must have had some kind of internet problems. I don't think I'm having any tonight for one reason or another. But yeah, KT and Sid were really fine people, and he told exactly like it was, Carl, just like you do. It's not a cakewalk out there.
You ain't kidding. It could be so much better, if we could just get a little cooperation, but it's just not that way. I've got a lot of it in my books, and I could probably complain for 8 straight hours, but what's the point?
Yeah.
I at one time, in the reason I know about the land metal detectors and things is, I wrote a lot of articles for the various treasure magazines, in fact, 26. And one time I opened the book and I read the article that it published in it, and there was a sentence cut out of it. And I thought, wow, they haven't done that before. So I called up the editor and I said, that sentence might have been a little strong, but why did these people, I think they need to know what's going on. And she said, I didn't do that. She said, the owner reads it, and he was the one that redlined your sentence there. And I said, why did he do that? She said, because he didn't want the IRS crawling up his butt. And the same for the metal detector guys. I've talked with them, and nobody wants the IRS to do that. And usually when it happens, it's bad.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's why a lot of guys, if they find some good stuff, you never know what's found because they're just not going to, that's unfortunate, but that's something we have to deal with. From what I understand, Phil lost power down there at the Treasure Talk Studios there in Tampa. So we'll wait for him to come back on. And we got Kim Fisher. You know Kim Fisher too, don't you, Carl?
Yes, I do.
He's coming on the show.
He's running everything down there now.
Yeah, I love that museum.
Yeah, me too. I wanted to sleep there, and they wouldn't let me.
I know, me too. So I had to go over to Sloppy Joe's and get real sleepy.
Yeah, I've done that a few times.
Oh, my goodness. So somebody wanted to know something about a Mark V helmet and boots. Have you ever used that?
No, I haven't, but those Mark V's cost a lot of money. The History of Diving Museum down in the Keys they've got the world's greatest collection of helmets amongst tons of other things. It'd take you half a day to get through there. But Sally is the owner, and my guess would be if you had any questions about the helmets, she'd be the person to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
They've really done that up chocolate. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, that's it. I love going down there. Here's Philip. He's back now with us.
Hey, I'm here. I made it back. Boy,
Yeah, your power go out?
Yes, I guess tomorrow I'll be getting a battery backup for both the internet and the computer. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway,
Hey,
continue, Cap. Go ahead.
I thought the Facebook fact checkers got you.
It'll take more than that to get me.
Curly, Larry, and Mo.
Did we have more? Are you guys in the middle of a question, or we?
No, we were just kind of waiting back. We had a couple of questions, and somebody wants to know about the Henrietta Marie.
Oh, okay.
Well, originally that was found in magnetometer surveys, and Mel was looking for somebody to go out there with a salvage boat and salvage. Henry Taylor and Duke Long went. In fact, they called me up and they said, "Fizz, go with us." And one of the biggest mistakes in my life, yes, I do make a mistake once in a while. I said, "Oh, no, thanks, fellas. Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in that." And sure enough, it was a Henrietta Marie, and they brought back tons of just really nice artifacts. They are the ones that found the bell off the Henrietta Marie. It's just, you hardly ever see the treasure hunters that physically do the work and make the recoveries get any credit at all. In fact, Art McKee's name, I could only find it mentioned one time, and it wasn't flattery, but it wasn't negative. His name was mentioned one time in all of the state's paperwork. Yet he's the guy that started it all. He's the one that got out and found those. He's the one that said, "Hey, these galleons have money on them." The politicians they didn't care about old shipwrecks. It didn't mean anything. And then Art McKee, Kip Wagner, Mel Fisher, now they're bringing up gold and silver, and suddenly the politicians say, well, wait a minute, we've got to talk this over. And then they tried to claim, we only care about preserving the artifacts. We don't care about the gold and silver. But when division time came, all the state took was gold. That's all they took. No more about those porcelain cups they were afraid we were going to break and bust. You get the feeling on
That's crazy. Hey, Captain Fizz, we had another question come through. How did you like being on the Pawn Stars?
That was great. I'll tell you, Rick and his father, who is now passed on, but I had between takes there. Hi, honey. How you doing?
Hey, Hambone in the house.
Yeah. I had a chance to talk with them between takes, and they're just nice, down to earth people. I can't say enough about them. But I'll tell you what impressed me more than anything: the T-shirt sales. You know, I think you pay $4 or $5 for a T-shirt from the company, and then you sell them for 20 and 25. And when I was out there, they sold 600 T-shirts. I said, I'm in the wrong business. But I had 12 friends call me up and say, get me a T-shirt, bring me a T-shirt, which I did. But anyway, they're nice guys. 2 of my 3 segments are on the YouTube. There's a place called Best of Pawn Stars. I'm on 2 of those.
Nice. Yeah. Wow. So I always thought it was interesting. And that's your other company, the Spanish Main Treasure Company, correct?
That's correct. I've had that. I started it in 1980 and still got it because I'm a doing business as, and you're not allowed to do that anymore. They keep trying to talk me into canceling it. And no, I'll keep it. It grandfathered in.
Absolutely. And you were on the show authenticating that was the ship bell there, wasn't it?
I did the ship's bell from, it was the Dutch East India Company. Strangely enough, a friend of mine had just sold one of those. So I had a pretty good idea what they would bring when he asked me the price. I think I told him $18,000. and the one on the show actually wound up selling for 14,000.
Nice.
So some attorney bought it.
Well, it would look nice in his office for sure.
Oh, I
Well,
bet
Jeff,
it does. That was a big one. That thing weighed
it
30
was.
some pounds.
Yeah, it was a beautiful piece of artifact. I'd like to have that.
I
I'll
was
say that.
I was showing it off at the DePaula Jewelers they're on the north end of Plantation Key, just over the bridge from. Oh no, they're not over the bridge. They're on the end of Key Largo, and I had it in a Winn-Dixie rack to push it around because I couldn't carry that thing across the parking lot. And as I was going into the store, some lady's coming out of Winn-Dixie pushing a basket, and she said, "That's the bell that was on Pawn Stars."
In a Winn-Dixie cart.
Yeah.
Well, I see Jeff has got the text scrolling over the screen. I guess that means it's time, huh, Jeff?
Yep, it's time to give away some books, and this is how we do it, Carl. I've already drawn the names. We've got 3 books, and what they have to do is, if they're watching on YouTube, they have to text. If they're watching on Facebook, they can either text or Facebook Messenger, either Phil or myself. If your name is called, that's when you text or Facebook Messenger. That's not how you enter the contest. If you know, so don't text if your name's not called. So we're going to draw all 3 names for the 3 books. The first book is for Uncharted Waters, and that winner is Stephen Burke. You got 3 minutes. The second book, Man Overboard, that winner is Jerry Solomon. And the third book, Between Waters, that is Pink Power Alley, Allison Walker. 3 minutes.
Allison, good going.
Yep.
I'll write you a nice
Facebook
inscription.
Messenger. Phil or myself.
Yes, and for you folks who don't know, I think Captain Fizz is going to autograph them to you. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
We're going to personalize it.
Okay. You guys text me all that information as soon as we get off. I'll mail them tomorrow.
Yep, and they'll get me their information. They'll send it to me in YouTube or in an email, and I'll forward the emails to you.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Somebody just texted me, but it went by so fast. I don't know who it was, but who was it? Was it Glenn Young who just asked, Captain, is that your personal treasure map right there in view? Right behind.
That hung in Art McKee's museum, and it's of course signed by Art McKee. That was the ones he used to sell those for $1 a piece back in the 60s. What a time. What a time.
All right. So I did get a contact from Allison. She's on there. So she's claimed her prize.
Good.
Okay.
And then I guess we're looking for the other 2 then, for Stephen Burke and for Jerry Solomon. You didn't get those, did you, Jeff?
Nope.
Stephen Burke or Jerry Solomon. So they got 1 minute.
And then we'll move
Don't
on to
see
the
them.
next one.
Yep.
Let's see here.
Don't see them.
Man, I haven't gotten any texts, so.
What's the best hook our captain ever used?
We have another question here for you, Captain Fizz. And for some reason, oh, there you are. I lost you. I had too many windows open on my screen. What is the best hookah unit you've ever used?
The best what?
Hookah?
Oh, wow. Well, I would have to say the best on the market is the Brownie's Third Lung, but the airlines are real nice too, and actually less money. I have 2 Brownies right now and 2 airlines. We've got a big project coming up. We're probably going to start in April, and I'm just now getting all the gear together. But both of those companies been around a long time, and they're both good. Robert Carmichael, again, I guess he's the owner of Brownie's Third Lung. He's the cenote guy. And
Got him. Look on the bottom.
I'm trying to remember the owner at the airlines. His name was Sink, but unfortunately he passed away, but they're still in business.
Okay. Hey, get back to Jeff. We did get another person. Jerry Solomon is here.
Okay, he's good.
We don't have Stephen yet.
Okay, the time is up. So Stephen Burke didn't make it. So the second name, Jenny Lewis. You got 3 minutes, Jenny, if you're watching.
Jenny.
You say Denny or Jimmy?
Jenny, Jenny.
Jenny Lewis.
If anybody out there won the big Powerball money, call me up.
And my good friend Michael Boyles just said he's here. And I'm surprised he's not asking us about Florida Hunt 7, which that's coming up. Are you going to that, Captain Fizz?
What is it?
It's called Florida Hunt 7.
When is it?
That's February the
19th, 20th, and 21st. It's a dirt digging hunt.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind going. It's just every time I'm looking at, I had to cancel all my shows on account of this virus thing. And I guess I just haven't been keeping up with it for 5 or 6 months. I would go.
Yeah, it's well, good. We're going to have the guy on the show next week, right, Jeff?
Yep. So next week, Carl, you got to watch for sure because
All right.
Phil and the Philharmonics are going to entertain us for about 20-minute concert. And then we're going to have an update from Florida Hunt 7. And I promise you, Greg Papalo, I'll make sure I get you all the information. He'd love to have you there.
Oh, good. Thanks.
It's up by Gainesville.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd love to have you there because I think, how many people does he have signed up for that hunt already? Do you know, Jeff?
I don't know. There's quite a few, but that's okay. There's always room for the captain.
Absolutely, because
That means Captain Morgan as well.
That's correct.
And it's outside, so you don't have to worry about the virus as much, or you could wear a mask if you'd like.
That's true.
Being that it's outside and everybody's going to social distance, so it's like one of the first thing that's happening in like forever. So I know a lot of people are wanting to do it.
I'm one of them. That whole virus thing is just bad business.
Absolutely. So I don't see the second one or the third one yet, Jeff.
Nope. So she's out of time. So Charles Broussard, you got 3 minutes, man.
And I guess tomorrow I'm going to go get a power supply for my computer and for my internet. So
Yeah,
that's what happened to me. The power shut off and everything was going in a split second.
Wow.
No, if you and Jeff are going.
well, I will be at Florida Hunt 7, Carl. So Phil can't close the shop, so he's not going to be there. But he's one of the sponsors of Florida Hunt 7.
So I'm going to be sending some stuff up for raffle or whatever they want to do for prizes, I'm sure.
Amanda says she'll take the book. Amanda Page.
Yeah.
And Amanda just said she'd take the book. Yeah,
Yeah,
nice. She didn't enter the contest. I tell them, enter the contest.
Yeah.
But they don't do it. They don't listen.
Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Okay, Charles Broussard, you got about a minute and a half left, buddy. Otherwise, we're going to move on.
I just heard something from somebody.
Thank you, Phil Myers. Scott Bird.
Oh, that wasn't him. Anyway, Captain Fizz, tell me about the thing that sticks out in your mind as your best find. While you were diving, you yourself was diving.
Yeah, well, I have like several, but to name the one I like religious artifacts, and I found an intact reliquary. It's a little kind of like egg-shaped container, and it holds a cross. Where the crossbars cross on the cross is two little slivers of wood, and that is from the cross of a saint or a martyr 2,000 years ago. And reliquary means just that. It's a container to hold a relic. There were two intact rosaries in them, and the crosses were inlaid with 22 karat gold. And then
Cap, I got to interrupt you for 1 second.
Sure.
Just 1 second. We'll come right back to you. Charles Bouchard did win. He sent me the text. He just didn't have his name with his phone number. It finally came through. All right, so go back to the reliquary.
Okay, what they need to do, they need to give me their information to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com. I will forward it to Carl, and he will personally autograph it to you. It'll be personalized to you.
Correct.
So let's do that, and we'll get it to. I'll get it to Carl tomorrow, and he'll get them out, and you'll get your prizes. And thank you for joining.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's good. Tomorrow's book mailing day anyway, so that'll be good.
All right, so I hope I didn't get lost here.
Well, you're dark. Something's wrong with your camera.
Yeah, something happened. Anyway, go back to the relic.
Yeah. Anyway, there was two intact rosaries in the reliquary, the container, and the two crosses were inlaid with 22 karat gold. But right where the cross beams are, there's two little slivers of wood mounted on each one, and those little slivers.
Oh, your camera.
What the heck, Carl?
Hmm.
Well, Carl left too. And Phil, I can't see you. So, don't know what happened with all those guys.
I'm still here, but
You're still here. I don't know what happened with Carl. He fell out, maybe a power outage or something.
No,
I haven't had any problems.
I can still hear him.
With mine.
I can hear him.
I can't hear him.
Well, oh, this is fun, isn't it? The last 3 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got 2 minutes left, but so anyways, we just want to thank everybody for coming. And Phil's power went out as well. So it's just me, guys. So we want to thank everybody for coming. We're certainly glad that y'all are catching up to us on YouTube. Phil, I see you. There you go. You're back.
Back in, boy. I don't know if Captain FIZZ knows to sign back in or not, but
probably not. We're gonna about ready to go south anyway.
Yes.
So next week, make sure that you're here because we're going to start out the show with Phil and the Philharmonics. I don't know if a lot of y'all know this, but Phil and his son Philip, who they fondly call Pip, are both very accomplished musicians. So I conned them into
one of his
doing a concert for us. So about the first 20 minutes of the show, it'll be Phil and the Philharmonics, and then we'll bring in Greg. There's Carl.
Invite him back in, so we say.
Yeah, I did.
So we can say thank you.
There you go, Carl.
Back, Carl.
Yeah, just in time to say goodnight.
You're a seasoned professional that you'd sign back in. We were worried about that, but
that's right. Don't believe those Facebook fact checkers.
Yeah, never. Never.
This show tonight has been really fun. It's always fun with Captain Carl. Thank you for coming on with us.
Thank you so much.
And be sure you post on, or Jeff will probably do a post scuba wise on our Facebook page. So the people who want to do that bucket list trip will get out there and do it. You know?
Good. Thank you. Thanks, guys. It's fun.
Thanks, Carl.
Absolutely.
We appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Appreciate you being on here, and thank you for the books
You
for our
betcha.
members. All righty. So, and Chloe over here says thank you too.
Oh boy. Thank
Get
you.
the ham bone to blow us a kiss.
Yeah, there she is.
Throw a kiss.
No, they don't see
Throw
no.
a kiss to
You
him.
got.
We want to see her. Get on the camera. There you
Hi,
go.
honey.
There she
That's
is.
my ham bone.
You sweetheart, you.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you, Carl, Captain Carl, and thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jocelyn, and thank you all the members. I think we're over 900 and some members on Facebook, and probably about the same on YouTube. So thanks,
Yep.
guys. It's been fun. Happy hunting. You have any metal detector related questions? Just give me a holler tomorrow to show.
Tell the captain I love him.
Yep. Subscribe to us on YouTube, like and share the video, and ring the bell for notifications. And so we will see everybody next week. Carl, we love you. Thanks, man. It was great. And we'll see everybody next week.
Thank you, guys. Love you guys.
Absolutely. And Captain Carl, Jocelyn says she loves and misses you. So we'll see you the next time at the club for sure.
That's good.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
See
Good
guys.
night, everybody.
Happy hunting.